A few months ago, the topic of fragments was brought up. Now, it's always been incredibly rewarding to use things like scarabs, but there was a lot of tedium involved. You had to buy the scarabs, you had to make sure you weren't running out of scarabs, and you had to keep track of which ones you were using and pairing them with the content you were running. In 3.17, a lot was done to streamline this. For example, altars would let you drop scarabs, and they also added operative strongboxes to the Atlas tree. So there's a lot more of them. But now, there's something that's even better, and that is stream of consciousness. Because what stream of consciousness does is it lets you fully customize the things that you're going to be getting very commonly. And you don't use any scarabs. You just get to Alkin Go and blast those maps. Now, is this going to be as rewarding as a fully min-maxed scarab setup? No. It's not going to be as rewarding as the top end of fully min-maxing, spending money, and investing. But does that mean it's unrewarding? Well, no. Just as an experiment. And also because I like Expedition and don't like a lot of other content types, I decided to block everything in my maps except for Expedition, and then run a bunch of maps with Stream of Consciousness. What I found is, about half the time, I'd get an Expedition in my map. So much so that I could actually count on it as I was going through and clearing. And this felt really, really good. So good, in fact, that if you aren't willing to buy 4 scarabs for your map device for every map, or if you're doing some maps where you just don't feel like putting in scarabs, you should probably have Stream of Consciousness. Even if you're not blocking anything at all, 50% more base chance to contain extra content is a lot of extra stuff. And I don't think it's ideal to go quite as extreme as I did and block literally everything except for Expedition. Now, to be fair, I was combining it with Harbinger, and I was combining it with Strongboxes, so it's not like I wasn't investing into things. But I also was missing out on stuff that might have been easy or free money, such as Heist, or things that added a lot of value, such as Harvest or Delirium. But that said, it's going to be pretty easy to grab some nodes and block things that you really don't want to run. For example, personally, even if Blight is profitable, I'm probably not going to do it because I just hate how it plays, so I'm totally fine grabbing Fungal Remission. I also don't feel like Metamorph is very rewarding, so I'm going to put Tane in front of an ethics review and watch him quake in his boots because what he's doing is definitely not ethical. Loved by the Sun is a little more controversial, since Abysses are really good for adding stuff, but also Abysses are really bad because they go in the opposite direction. It's something that I'm actually considering unblocking, but for now I've kept it blocked. I'm probably going to keep Harvest blocked, not because it isn't rewarding, but because I just don't want to do it, and I can always buy the crafts via TFT. And as you can see, this still leaves several other things. I could add in Ritual, Delirium, Heist, or on the other side, Breaches or Legion. And my plan going forward is to add in things that I'm taking nodes for. So right now I've got a lot of the boss drop nodes. I'm trying to get things like Synthesis, Shaper, and Elder Guardian maps, which means I'm going to be running a lot of maps quickly, and I don't want anything that's going to slow me down or take extra time. Outside of Expedition. Expedition is just way too good to pass on. And at the end of the day, even if what I'm running isn't super optimal, it's super fun. I get to experience way more of the content that I enjoy, things that I want to do, and less things that I don't want to do. But speaking of things that I don't want to do, I don't want this video to get lost in the algorithm. I don't want it to go unseen. And you can help with that, because if you leave a like, and let me know down below what your favorite content type is, there's a much higher chance that YouTube will recommend this video to other people. So if you've also found mapping to be way more enjoyable with Stream of Consciousness, then let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see more about my build and how it works, maybe some of the items I've made, be sure to sub to the channel and ring the bell to be notified whenever I upload. But there's one other very important aspect of Stream of Consciousness. And that is that when combined with content blocking, it encourages players to specialize, which is very important for the softcore trade economy. One of the things that makes Delve feel bad is, right now you can get a lot of fossils from non-Delve sources. One of the things that made Breach or Legion feel bad is, well, everyone was farming it. And therein lies the problem. If everyone's doing something, then people don't need it as much. Now, you could say, yeah, but everyone's trying to farm exalts and they still have value. That's because everyone needs exalts. And a lot of people are willing to literally destroy their exalts for things like metacrafting. But when more people are farming something than using it, the value of that thing goes down. When more people want the item than are farming it, the value goes up. Which is why it seems like oil prices are a lot healthier in 3.18 than they were in 3.17. There's going to be a lot of people like me who are running stream of consciousness and using the fact that we get more base chance for content to block the things that we just don't want to run. Before, I'd get blights in my map, and I wouldn't like them, but for a long time, I'd do them anyway. And as I do, I'd get a few silver oils and a few gold oils, which would of course encourage me to then do it more. To the point where a lot of the oils I was using to anoint my amulet were things I'd farmed myself, and being self-reliant in that way can be a good thing if you don't want to trade. But if you look at the economy as a whole, if you're a blight farmer, that's the last thing that you want. You want people to need your oils. So there's a lot of value in being able to specialize. Since now, I get Expedition almost every other map. And Expedition is incredibly profitable. I'm happy to give up the things that I don't want to run, as that just wasn't something that I enjoyed. But the side effect of that is, I'm going to have to trade with more people, to buy the things that come from that content. To get Legion Splinters, or to get Breach Stones. Things that I would have passively collected before aren't really going to pile up as much when I'm just blocking the content entirely. Which ends up making for a much healthier economy. It's why there are certain aspects of a hardcore trade economy that were always more healthy than the softcore trade economy, since items were actively leaving. And I know you can't really objectively measure fun, but I still feel like I'm pretty safe in saying that using Stream of Consciousness is objectively more fun than not having it in the game. It just feels good to be able to pick the things that you want and ignore the ones that you don't. So hopefully we'll see more mechanics like this, because I'd love to just run Perma Alva and never see another gen mission again. And having to buy veiled items from someone else for my crafts would be a small price to pay for that. And so now I'm curious, what have you been using Stream of Consciousness for, or did you not know about it? And now that you've seen the video, are you planning to block some content and not run fragments at all? What I've been doing personally is I'll use Stream of Consciousness for a while, I'll let a few fragments pop up, and then after I have a bunch of scarabs, I'll run all the scarabs with Stream of Consciousness off and put it back a little later. But I'm curious what you're doing, so let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to put them down in the comments below, or join the Discord where you can ask questions, get build help, and hang out with the community. A special thanks to my patrons and YouTube channel members. They're awesome, and they get to show it by having their name on screen in the credits of all my videos. So if you want to see your name here, be sure to check the link in the description. For more general gaming content, check out my second channel, 10 Gaming Thoughts, and if you want a water bottle or a cool shirt, I have a link to my official merch shop in the description. I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.